Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. That's it for today's video. The beer's courtesy of Ross. Thanks so much, Ross. I really appreciate it. It is Cafe Deth, Imperial Stout with coffee, and then aged in barrels. A weaponized quantity of freshly roasted whole bean coffee from independent Chicago roasters imbues our Death Star barrel-aged imperial stout with assertive coffee aromatics without overshadowing the base beer on the palate. Pair with rich food or enjoy on its own. I will probably mostly be enjoying this on my own. 14.8%. 14.8%. 8%. And this is 10 months old at time of review, almost to the day. Be uncouth to lick the side of the can, so I will use a paper towel. Yeah, I mean it's dark. There's brown in there, but it's pretty darn black. Pretty close to motor oil, but not quite there. On the darker side of mocha, but there's still some creaminess to it for sure in terms of that head. Nice legs. Some lacing is sticking around. Most of it goes away like I thought it would. It looks like a big stout. Let's get into that aroma. Still getting the chocolate first, but it is a nice big chocolate with the caramel, and then that coffee, that added roastiness. Somewhat chocolate covered coffee beans, which obvious makes sense. More of that caramel note coming through. You could even tell me a little bit of like toffee and butterscotch, mostly caramel though. Dark chocolate. I think it's maybe the coffee might be helping it seem even more dark chocolate. It's a little peppery, but not like green bell pepper, just like more like black pepper. Chocolate, some of that caramel sauce mixed in, roastiness with that coffee, then everything else I mentioned. Not much oak, not much specifically like bourbon or anything. A little bourbon with that caramel note, but it's not overly done. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Ross. I liked that aroma, but it wasn't blowing me away. This taste is really good, though. Yeah, it tastes better than it smells. And again, it smelled good. Like, don't get me wrong, but it was not blowing me away like I was hoping it would. Whereas this taste is where I want it to be. Now I am getting a little bit of wood, not even oak specifically, but wood. The taste I do get for sure oak, vanilla, and I get some bourbon specifically. So some of that barrel aging character I wasn't pulling out of the aroma, definitely getting the taste. It really, this caramel thing, I keep going back to it. I don't know if it's like the glue binding things or like that's not the like connective tissue to different threads might be a better way of saying it. Like some of that oak mixes with the caramel, that chocolate, which I've said several times, mixes with the caramel. Then with the chocolate, you get more of that roastiness with the coffee. But like the vanilla, the oak, some of that wood, just like not even oak, but again, just like generic wood. All this stuff kind of does connect to this caramel note, which being the coffee version of this beer, I didn't think I'd be talking this much about caramel. It does have a nice coffee taste, but it's not overly coffee. If you are one of those people who, you know what it is? It's the chocolate cracker part of Oreos. A lot of that as I'm talking. If you're not a big coffee fan, but you really like stouts, you might be able to pull this off, actually. Mike at Nerd Sense would fit that, and he'd be an interesting person to drink this and see if he thinks it's too much coffee. I mean, it's there, don't get me wrong, but it's not as much on the forefront as I thought it would be. It is, 10 months in the can. Maybe it's faded some, and I'm glad if it has faded, it hasn't turned really into that green pepper. And yeah, like I was saying, the aroma, there's a little prickliness. Maybe black pepper is not the right thing, but there is this little prickly spiciness. It's probably the coffee. And it just kind of elevates and draws attention to that milk chocolate into dark chocolate realm. It's cool because I just did whatever it is what it is. Goose Island, Bourbon County, that was 10 years old, and it's interesting drinking this one because with the 10 years on that, I spent a lot of time at the end talking about like flavors melding together. Whereas this one, you are seeing some of that, but there's still some that are not in a bad way, but like not quite melding. Really delicious, pairing well, but not melded together. Yeah, I like this beer. I'm designed to like this beer. And it's got me thinking, like, I don't know if I like it better than the regular, though. Like, I would have thought with a coffee edition, I would like this one even more. But I'm not willing to say I like this one more than that. It's probably pretty close, but I wouldn't say I like it more. And that, I mean, I love the regular, so I mean, I still don't get me wrong. This beer is phenomenal. But I thought the coffee would take me over the level of the base, and it hasn't. So, just to be fair, there's that. But still delicious. So thanks again, Ross. I really appreciate it. If you guys had this beer before, did you have a fresher? What did you think the coffee was at that time? Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both of those places. So always please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.